Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 in Sophomore English. We are in the MyPerspectives volume, and we turn now to Unit 2 on page 126, Outsiders and Outcasts. The idea of social isolation is a common thread throughout literature. Is it because being alone is just a natural part of life? I'm reading from page 126. There are some unit goals I want you to see on 128. There's some academic vocabulary regarding argument I want you to see on 129. Now, I'm with you on page 130. Let's work through this brief passage. Isn't everyone a little bit weird? Your launch text box says the selection is an example of an argumentative text. Please circle that with your red ink pen. A type of writing in which an author states and defends a position on a topic. This is the type of writing you will develop in the performance-based assessment at the end of the unit. As you read, look at the way the writer builds a case. Circle that phrase, builds a case. What is the writer's position? Circle the word position. And how is it supported? In other words, what is the central to controlling idea here in this brief essay? Everyone is a little bit weird. That's not a bad thing. It just happens to be true. The common definition of the adjective weird is unusual or strange. The connotation or implied meaning of the term is that there is something wrong with a person who's described in this way. While many people may feel the connotation is accurate, I would argue that it's wrong for two reasons. First, the most gifted, successful people are often eccentric. Go ahead and circle the word eccentric. That might be a new word for some of you. Learn how to use it well. Of course, a little bit different from the norm, right? Emerson would call it a nonconformist in his classic essay, Self-Reliance. Secondly, some traits we now think of as being weird were once highly regarded and not weird at all. Consider Ben Franklin, one of the framers of the United States Constitution. Franklin, 1706 to 1790, was a leading author, political theorist, politician, scientist, inventor, activist, and business person. He invented the lightning rod, bifocal glasses, and the Franklin stove. His discoveries regarding electricity are important to the history of physics. His public push for colonial solidarity was vital to the formation of the Union. He became wealthy as a writer and publisher of Per Richard's Almanac. By the way, these are texts you'll study in your, and this writer and thinker in your junior experience of American literature. There's nothing weird in that list of accomplishments. Brilliant would better describe Franklin, and yet the man some called the first American had certain ways about him you might consider odd. He once pranked a competing publisher by astrologically predicting when the man's life would end. He created his own alphabet, dispensing with the letters C, J, Q, W, X, and Y, and adding others he made up to stand in for common sounds. He is said to have favored air baths, often writing his essays and letters while standing in a cold room with nothing on. And now I'm on to page 131 in paragraph 5. Some aspects of Franklin's life that people today might see as weird would have been viewed as unremarkable during his lifetime. Take, for example, his appearance. In famous portraits, he wears ruffled shirts, breeches, and tight stockings pulled up to the knee. He wore his hair long, well into old age. Today's viewers of those portraits might think him odd, but those were common fashions of his era. Likewise, consider Franklin's education. He quit school at age 10 and was apprenticed as a printer at age 12, a career move that today would be considered both weird and illegal. Perhaps Franklin's oddness actually sparked his genius. He saw things in ways that challenged what other people accepted as fact. Additionally, he had the courage to communicate his insights, act on them, and turn them into achievements. It may have been Franklin's weirdness that made him great. I'll read the line again. It may have been Franklin's weirdness that made him great. Some might argue that weird people are just plain weird. By most people's standards, an undressed man sitting in a cold room writing with a quill pen is undoubtedly strange. But that view of human nature is too narrow. It doesn't recognize the important idea that many of those who see things differently turn out to be the most creative and ingenious among us. Everyone has eccentricities, slightly odd, perhaps unique ways of thinking or behaving. These might be the first traits you notice in someone or the last. Being a little bit weird may be one of the things that actually connects us and makes us uniquely human. Ben Franklin wrote, "Life's tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late." I'll read it again. Such a great line, guys, for you as sophomores. Life's tragedy is that we get old too soon and wise too late. It takes wisdom to look past what seems weird in people, what makes them different, to find the offbeat humanity that unites us all. Look at the vocabulary chart at the bottom of 131. Go ahead and fill that out with that word outsider at the center. Then go ahead and flip the page to 132. I'd like you to write a brief summary of this passage. And then on 133, do a quick write really quickly on this prompt. Is the experience of being an outsider universal? As we turn now to our Unit 2 texts. Thank you.